mind is okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego diary politico, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This man.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun.
Mayegun awamo, lamo todododo. Mayegun tide o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
So tonight, I want to talk more about the greed of the Nigerian elite, Nigeria elite. This greed I'm going to talk about affects not just the elite, but because the influence they wield, the one that they are so much silent on using right now, maybe if we talk more about them, right, and tell them that their silence will not just consume the poor, the powerless, the weak, the vulnerable. It will consume them too.
Diary politico. Godfatherism. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Forget, share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite everyone that needs to be here. This is just like, it's like a class, the temple of truth. You will likely not kind of agree with almost everything, right? But if you if you pay attention, you are likely going to get a lot of things right just by picking your point from what I share.
Lórí Facebook, Agnes Olaji. Lórí YouTube, ayé ìṣúra jù. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́, ayé ìṣúra jù. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ, ayé ìṣúra jù. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o, ayé ìṣúra jù. Gómìnà kówó jẹ, ayé ìṣúra jù. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí fa, ayé ìṣúra jù.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. So, once again, good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Tonight, let us address the greed of the Nigerian elite. How their greed brought us to this level of division, the level of poverty, the level of hopelessness. Even though they continue to, campaign for elections and forgetting or ignoring the vital issues that is tearing that country apart. The more they pretend that this is not happening, the more some of them are becoming victims. But maybe if we remind them of their greed that actually brought us here, the corruption, that brought us to this level, and the same nonchalant attitude that brought us to this level is the same thing that they are still pretty much using, pretending that it will go away. It won't. Nothing that is happening in Nigeria right now is just going to go away. It's never. None of them is going to go away. They will be addressed, and eventually Nigeria will break. I'm going to try and take you to Ethiopia. Ethiopia and Tigray. You know, the people of Tigray were like, I love sharing relative stories that are so recent, just to give you an idea of what this hemorrhaging of Nigeria is going to hand us, right? Tigray and Ethiopia, well, Tigray is part of Ethiopia, but not under Ethiopia. They are the national autonomous region of Ethiopia, which comprises of 3 ethnic nationalities too, just like Nigeria. And the reason why they are part of Ethiopia and not a country of their own is because of an agreement that said, well, we will be part of Ethiopia, like Eritrea was part of Ethiopia as well. We'll be part of Ethiopia, but we're going to be on our own. No law or any command from the central government of Ethiopia that violates our belief and our stand will be obeyed. So last year, the president of Ethiopia decided to declare war on those he called rebels. The rebels are the Tigrayans who are actually the people who said no to the control of one central fraudulent country. Nobody wants to work with such arrangement these days. If you are already trapped in such arrangements, people are trying to get out of such arrangements now. Every colonization that forced and matched people of different backgrounds together to form countries, people are trying to get out of them now. So those who managed to negotiate a better deal, that kept their independence from the entire part of the country, right? They would never want to go and be forced into one country when they see the likes of Nigeria, where the former autonomous region of Western Nigeria is now part of Nigeria. The autonomous region of Eastern Nigeria is now part of Nigeria. And the one command, one person, one mad person can just make one single pronouncement that doesn't give a damn about the lives of those from those regions. That is what the Tigrayans are avoiding. And the government at the center, a man that came to power after serious political trouble in Ethiopia, right? He came to power and they thought he was a man who was bringing peace. The man who is going to respect everybody's rights and is going to bring the country together, right? But like every African, it got to his head. What happened? Last year, after several efforts of trying to abrogate Tigray to part of Ethiopia. They labeled those who resisted, they labeled them rebels. Same way, those who are standing up today to say we need to have that conversation if we still want to be part of Nigeria or not, are now being regarded or referred to as terrorists. In Ethiopia, they were calling them rebels. And guess what? The rebels, because it's a country now, how can you say you want to fight almighty Ethiopia, the one that, you know, the whole world seems to love? So in November 2020, the Ethiopian military soldiers, they moved into Tigray, and the full-scale civil war started. Innocent people were killed. They captured the capital. It is like this. It's like for Nigeria, right? Northern Nigeria, to move in the military, move in their weapons, and say they have captured Ibadan, which should have been the capital of Yoruba land. Or they have captured Enugu, if that should be the capital of Biafra land. That was what happened in Tigray. So they declared victory that by April, the whole thing will be gone, and this whole story about autonomous region of Tigray and all that nonsense will be gone. That was what the guy felt like. But guess what? They captured the capital of Tigray in April or thereabouts. By June, the Revolutionary Front of Tigray, the group that finally come together, like I told you, I'm talking about 3 ethnic nationalities who came together to be part of Tigray, right? And that arrangement says they are independence of Ethiopia. So they were those who finally formed a bond together, built relationship across their border, and they got the support needed from Egypt. Between April and July, they have already kicked out the military of Ethiopia out of the entire Tigray. And you know what? For their survivor, because they believe that with the audacity that the central government of Ethiopia and the president of Ethiopia and his team and his military, the audacity of breaching the rights of millions of people in that part of that country, puts their safety in danger. You know what happened now? They have now advanced to the south, where the power is. You know, in the case of Ethiopia, the difference is that the people that controls power in Ethiopia right now, they are from the south. But for more than 20 years, right, the Tigrayans were also in power at the center of Ethiopia. They played like senior roles in government. Some people said, according to what gave this guy there now the influence or the power that he had last year, they never wanted to go back to the revolutionary force from the Tigray to be the leader of their country anymore. Just like the same way they cooked APC, Egbekegbe, brought them in and told you, oh, PDP is this or that. And you expect the APC to now come and unite the country, right? To stop impunity, to stop corruption, to stop, things that are vices that makes you despise a 16 years government of PDP. But instead of them to do same thing, right? Within a year, they launched an ethnic cleansing campaign, a murderous genocide campaign in eastern Nigeria. So that's what happened in Ethiopia. So the difference is that those who are trying to crush the south, they are from the north. That's the case of Nigeria. In Ethiopia, it's the case of the south, trying to crush the small Tigray northern part of the country. So for their own safety, after kicking out the military completely from their region, and they took over their region again, they have now advanced to the south. Now, as we speak, the president of Ethiopia, if he managed to get support enough to reach a truce that will finally force them back to the negotiation table to say, this is the reason why we are fighting. If he managed to get the truce, he will remain in Ethiopia for another 2-3 weeks. If he doesn't get the support he should get, the Tigrayan force, they are going to take over the capital of Ethiopia. They're going to kick him out. He's going to fly and run away. All his military chiefs, and many of them are going to run away too. And that is a small Tigray. When this whole thing started, they were begging Ethiopia to have mercy. They were picking people up. They called them rebels. They were picking them up and taking them to the south, locking them up, torturing them, until it finally led to war that they believed that they could crush within 5-6 months. Today, Ethiopia president that was bragging a year ago is about to run away from Ethiopia. Let's come back to Nigeria. The greed of the elite, which makes corruption to thrive in Nigeria, is what brought us to this level. Shortchanging corruption. You saw what happened in Lagos, the building that collapsed in Lagos. If you take a look at it very well, the people that are mostly kind of affected, right? They are the poor staff, workers, supervisor, engineer, young people who try to hack out a living from a badly planned and structured building. But when you now look at those who have now turned the place to their photo op, even though those who, those that we have been told are the owners of the place, if you look at those who have been turning up, they have been the elite. The elite who actually understand the loss to whatever fortune they've gathered through all the crooked means. Let me break it down for you. A house doesn't just go down. If you know that, you will know the peace, right? House don't just go down. Now, in Nigeria, the elites are those that found themselves in politics, civil service, or sometimes they call themselves the money movers and money makers, the businessmen. They consider themselves as elites who make things happen in a country. If the financial system of the country runs into trouble, check what gamble that the elite of that country and the financial sector of that country got involved in. You won't find any poor man involved in the crash of the financial market. It's the elite. Nigeria continue to dwindle, continue to hemorrhage, and poverty continue to increase because those who found themselves in these positions, they have leveraged on that to feather their nest without giving a damn about millions of people that will be affected by those singular, selfish, decisions. And in Nigeria, there is no punishment for such. Again, let me break it down further. A country that is very poor, according to those who are managing the country, continue to expend over 70% of their resources, including the one they borrowed, on recurrent expenditures, and they continue to make promises they will never be able to fulfill. Because how do you fulfill promise when you don't even have anything to make that happen? When most of the money you have only serve these few criminals who actually pretend to be the elite, their friends, their concubines, their club members, and so many other groups that actually benefit from the largesse of them being in control. Now, that is so easy because they are those that will get the contract for the road construction. They are the ones that will get the contract for the electricity generation and distribution. They are those that will get the contract for the supply of building the medical facility everywhere. They are the ones that will sit together and put together education policy that should help a child, even if that child comes from the poorest of the poorest homes. But they are also the same people that will sabotage the same policy and give no damn about the millions of those that decision will affect. They call themselves the elite. They are the rich. You see, that is why I said poverty in Nigeria is not just about material things. Material things the physical evidence that you can see, well, that's poverty. But most of the poverty you have in Nigeria, they are actually the mind and mental poverty, a psychological one, a poverty that makes somebody who will not blink, right, from stealing the resources, the little resources provided to provide medical facility or healthcare facility to the poor communities. And because they can do it and get away with it, so they make that money. And the victims of this corruption are they're actually me and you, except for few of us who have managed to escape the dragnets of the consequences of their actions. So elites, their greed, they cut corners. For everything, they cut corners. When you walk into the office, a civil servant, when you walk into the government building where you expect a civil servant to be at least patriotic enough, diligent enough to be honest with you, they are already waiting for what you are going to give to them. And in Nigeria, in the committee or the community of those who claim to be elite in Nigeria, poor people with money, right, that claim to be elite in Nigeria, that is normal. They created a system, right, that actually fund and support the lifestyle of fraud, corruption, and manipulation. Then they turn around to pretend that that is not actually what is happening. It is about who knows who, cutting corners. Now, an elite will be the individual that has the connection, whether through politics or otherwise, who have the connection to walk into the ministry because his friend is a governor, and you know what I mean, and take a contract and say, we are going to build 200 hospitals. We'll build 200 hospitals in 20 local government areas. And everybody will be happy. Say, wow, that would be great if they could do that. You read about it. It's an elite that walk in there, take the billion contracts, return the half of the money to those who gave him the contracts, then keep the rest for himself, while you continue to watch the picture. You continue to look at the pictures they posted of what your medical facility will be. And they repeat the same thing every year and every year. So when election is now coming, it is the same elite that suddenly will love the poor people. Suddenly they have health, medical outreach to check people for eye problem, to check people for heart problem, to check people for BP. The poor people they stole money from, when they should have built hospitals, equipped them, and paid the medical workers there. They are the elite. But here is the consequence of when I use healthcare, for example. The president of Nigeria doesn't use Nigeria hospital. 90% of those who claim to be elite in Nigeria, especially the political class, religious class, and those in the business communities, when they begin to get access to the wealth, the limited wealth of that Nigeria that they carry and drag within themselves, the first thing they try to do is to, first is to put together a medical insurance outside Nigeria, so that if they have any medical concern or any health concern, they can jump into the private jets and fly for 7 hours or 6 hours to the UK, or even like 14 hours to New York, or maybe 12 or more hours to Dubai, or maybe Germany, 8 hours or so. Yet, the greedy elite who has that influence to buy to buy healthcare in Germany, to buy healthcare in China, to buy healthcare in America, buy healthcare in the UK, healthcare in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, his greed has blinded him and those who believe in him that he could build the same facility that is just 20 minutes away. So that when the health when his health or the health of those he loves, possibly those he's trying to steal the money for, when their health comes under serious challenge, they don't have to be, boxed into a plane and be flown for 14 hours. That is the selfishness I'm talking about, the greed of the elite. So they deny all these things. Let me give you another one. The elite, who will put together education policy. We will educate every child. It is actually a criminal thing for any government to have a record of any child that should be in school and not in school. A reasonable and then a responsible government should know that if you shut the door to the school, if you shut the door to a classroom, you are automatically opening the door to the prison. Now, a government that wants to build a country, we know that you have to what? You have to train every child. If you leave them untrained, and in 10, 20, 30 years, you have to deal with terrorism, you have to deal with different kind of criminality, and then you have to stretch your resources to fight them, you could just easily it's cheaper to train them. Train them. So you will see politicians and all these crackhead elites parading themselves with different, fraudulent certificates, doctor, professor, this, professor, that. These guys will come together. They will put policies together and they will say, this policy will keep our children in school, better education, good payment for teachers, good, all lovely stuffs, amazing classrooms. If you give us the power, then they get the power. It is time for them not to build 1 million schools at a time. At least, if they believe in what they wrote down, they can start somewhere and then they can monitor the progress. Then rather than do that, they leverage on it. They take advantage of it. Okay? There is no money to fund education because most of the money have been budgeted to feed the Bokuari, to feed their family, for travel, for whenever they travel out of Nigeria, how to fuel the jets, how to build their 14-bed Aso Rock clinic. The money that should go into education are going into that. So the leftover is just a crumb for the boys. So if you now turn around and you see more children out of school, more children going into poverty, more teenagers already in poverty because there's nothing there by those who should have done it. So the consequence of that is this: you get robbed. Those kids will need to survive too. Yes, they will need to survive too. Some of them will finally find help, but it's not all of them. Those ones you forget about, they are the ones that will always break into your homes. They are the ones that will always break into your car while you are in traffic. They are the ones that will always want to rob you on bikes. You know why? They are the ones you never thought probably exist. And to you, it is nobody's fault that they couldn't take care of themselves. You took care of yourself. Nigeria didn't do anything for you, just like it didn't do anything for them too. But that's so easy. But the consequence of this is this: the elite who continue to milk this, who continue to say, I am a friend to Minister of Education, I am a friend to Commissioner of Education, oh, I love this governor because his policy on education is the best. Lying to yourself simply because of what you are getting from it. The consequences of it is that those children, right, that were never covered, and you pretend they don't exist, they exist. They are the threat to whatever you manage to get for yourself in this coming future. If they think about the consequences, if they think that their greed of their luxury, living expensive life when the country has no real money, these are unproductive people that have been in power. I'm talking about Nigeria exists from when? From 1960, right? 61 years. They have not been able to actually devise means to be productive. Something that you can say, oh, we are so rich now. That is why the politicians are spending money anyhow. These guys are borrowing money, devaluing their naira, crashing their economy. More people going into poverty because they are losing their jobs, right? And they don't care because they are the elite. I'm still coming, oh. Same thing goes into security. If you don't have any security, you are lying to you are deceiving yourselves. If you think you can make any economic progress, you are lying to yourselves. Now, this is where you will think elites, the people that love free money, easy money, because Nigeria still feathered their nest. And they are turning deaf ear to all the atrocities, all the shenanigans, all the criminalities, all of the hemorrhaging and the destruction going on. They are pretending like they are not interested. But shouldn't security be everybody's business in the first place? I mean, it is because of the insecurity that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out and he said, let us defend Biafra land against this invading terrorists. What you are seeing in Zamfara, what you are seeing in Borno, what you are seeing in Sokoto, everything you are watching and seeing on your screen in Niger, they are real. And the victims, they are real human beings. They have been forgotten by those who promised to protect them. If you don't protect yourselves, nobody will protect you. Nnamdi Kanu said that. They said they should be killed. And they are still killing people for that right now. Oloye Sunday Igboho, it is the same insecurity, because I believe insecurity should be everybody's business. Security should be everybody's business. If there's no security, you can't really make any real progress and no economic progress. I mean, running a business where you can get kidnapped anytime and you can get killed anytime, that doesn't add value to business. I mean, it doesn't bring any economic growth, and I'll tell you how. But there are elites. There are elites who are saddled with the responsibility to keep you safe. You should never forget that. Don't let any fake criminal, pastor, whatever he call himself, or anyone who tells you that God is the one that gives security. That is a deceit. Because God, that same God, right, knows that if you don't defend yourself, you will be dead, and they will probably say it to you face to face when you get to that place. You can't pray your way out of the terrorism you have in Nigeria today. You can't. You can pray. It's good to pray. It cleanses soul, it relaxes, and probably it gives ideas too. There are people who will tell you that after praying, I got an idea of what to do. It's good. But you cannot use any blood of Jesus or any kind of whatever to stop AK-47 that is meant for you. We have seen them. Oloye Sunday Igboho said we need to defend ourselves as Yorubas. I have seen what they are capable of doing. We need to come together. They went for him. They killed 2 people in his house. Lock him up in Benin Republic as we speak. But there are people who are saddled with that responsibility of keeping you safe so that you will never need instant security network. You will never need Oloye Sunday Igboho to say, let us defend ourselves. Because there will be no reason for that. They will be fighting for something different. In that regard. But those saddled with the responsibility, those are the people you found in the military, the politicians, the policy makers, decision makers, the order givers, and the rest of them. These are the people who have failed. How? Trillions of naira spent for 12 years. They have spent over 20 trillion naira on fighting Boko Haram, fighting terrorism. The news came out just yesterday that ISIL's fighters, they have arrived in Nigeria and they are going to stage some unbelievable attacks in Borno State in the next few days. The report came just today. But there are people who knows all this. They know all of this. They get paid to know all of this and prevent all of this from happening. But because they have failed, what they are now telling you is that, yes, we have failed, but we cannot let some, they call them non-state actors. They are the state actors paid to keep you safe so that you can go about your normal businesses. You get what I mean now? You can travel everywhere. Today in Nigeria, there are popular roads, very, very busy roads that are no longer passable anymore. In Nigeria, people knows about them. And there's absolute nothing they can do. There's absolute nothing the military, their soldiers can do. So people are now told to learn how to live with it. So the people that failed to keep you safe, the people that failed to keep you prosperous, because if you have no security, you can never make any money, except if you are supplying the terrorists yourself. If you are the middle, that's when you can say, because when you supply terrorists, you don't pay tax. Every money you transact to them, you collect it 100%. Thank you very much, Chidoze Onye Melukwe. Let me put your super sticker up. I want to read it. Thank you. In Europe, stable nations are formed based on tribes. In Africa, they are bunched together to remain unstable in perpetuity. That's so true. Truth that. Thank you. So they failed. In order for them to make you learn how to live with it, let me tell you the failure. The elite, you remember we are talking about their greed. If they had done their job, they would have discovered all these terrorists who have now turned the northern Nigeria into an industry of terrorism. Their job, they are paid to discover them. Do you know that? People are paid to know about a crime before they happen. But you and I will be lying to ourselves if we don't say the truth of how this come by, because we found out that they are actually collecting money not to prevent crime, but to enable it. But they have to determine which type of crime they are going to call crime, while they spend billions and billions claiming to be fighting it. But nobody will ask for the results. They just have to learn how to live with it. That's the failure there. Now, instead of them, curbing this type of terrorism and insecurity, that will always give validation to every point and warning given by the IPOB, given by the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, given by the likes of Oloye Sunday Igboho, given by the likes of Mayegun General. The only way to stop people listening to people like us is when government and their agents, who actually collect billions and billions of dollars to know those who wants to plan criminality and stop them. If they now carried out the criminality, arrest them and get them. If you do that, if I now say, hey, my people, Fulani terrorists are coming to take over your land, people will be like, what are you talking about? There's already these guys that they've been arrested. They said their plan was to come and make Nigeria Islamic, this and that. But we can see what government is doing to them. Seriously. So Mayegun, what are you talking about? But the reason why Mayegun and everyone's statement will continue to make sense and continue to be valid is because your government is not fighting the crime, even though they are drawing money for it. And that money they are drawing to fight terrorism, to fight insecurity in Nigeria, right? After taking the most for themselves, buying properties wherever they want, looting as much as they could get, denying even the soldiers they are sending to go and fight, denying them the better welfare, destroying and breaking their morals, let me put it that way, in order for them not to have the capacity to actually really fight, then deviate the logistic that should stop terrorism to another part of the country, create chaos there, so that the funding for insecurity can continue, right? Even though more people continue to get killed and kidnapped. I don't know if that logic makes any sense to you, because it doesn't make any sense. It's true. But that's the logic of Nigeria. We are fighting terrorism. But instead of terrorism to end, yeah, it continues to escalate. But for the rest of you who are complaining about insecurity, you are actually the problem. So what we are going to do is that, yes, the insecurity is escalating, but we want to stop another one from starting by creating a chaos, killing a murderous campaign, so that you can know that we have capacity to stop anything, but we are not going to stop these ones. That is the operational manual of Bokuwari. They have Tucano jets. They have almost 300 armor tank carrier. They have this, they have that. But the ragtag terrorists from the Sahel, right? They have the upper hand, and they are Nigeria is so scared to name them terrorists after all they are doing every day. You remember this this video? I showed that back to you yesterday, and these people looked like they are happy. They are the 60 Christians, 60 worshippers kidnapped in a church in Kaduna, southern Kaduna. They looked up in this video this evening. The news came that they have killed 2 of them because the ransom is not coming early enough. Right? I'll be back.
wallahi wallahi ba mu ni nan Allah ya sani ban taba zuwa wani meeting ba. Allah ya sani ne ga gare ni a can a sanakuna dan ne abin da ba gaskiya ba zuwa wuri na a takaita shi ya yi sarki to muna roƙon arziki ba mu da abin da mun dai roƙo arziki muke a wuri diyo su nan dukkan su a gansu dukkan su ku kaushi a nuna musu wannan dukkan su a nuna kiristocin Najeriya ta zo ki tashi ki tashi Allah jihar aiki wannan gani ga mama wata fada aiki ne gani ga mama ni na wani ina roka gwamnati ne yanda na saba da Fulani gaskiya ba zan iya roka Fulani ba ni ko lokacin sallah ni kai ma ni kan je iya a wurin Fulani ni hira da su ni ma gaskiya ni ba na so abin da zai sa gwamnati ta raba ni da Fulani ina so zaman lafiya da Fulani ko na kenan addu'a ne kenan Allah ya ba mu zaman salama a kasan mu gaba daya sake mana ne to mu yi rayuwa yanda muke a su bari mana ne to mu yi aiki su bari mana mu yi aiki su bari rayuwa yanda muke saba nan tukuna Valeri has come nan da kyau mama kin haihu amfanin haihuwa zaki amfanin haihuwa mama amfanin haihuwa mama yayi kyau duna baki haushin banza
that's how terrible it is. Just to give you the picture, that's a normal thing in northern Nigeria now. And the Nigerian government is afraid, right? It's afraid to name them terrorist organization. They said they are just simple criminals. It's not that Nigeria doesn't have the weapons to fight, but they would rather use it elsewhere, where they make the rest of the country believe that they are trying to prevent something. Why they allowed this to go on? They celebrated it. They said yesterday, they said that 17,000 Boko Haram terrorists and Fulani terrorists have surrendered to them. So Nigeria will have to feed them, including the, including the over 8,000 they have already released. So Nigeria will rehabilitate the 17,000, give them food and all of that, and then forgive them, whatever crime they've committed. That is the policy that brought us to this level. The greed of the criminals who have the chance of at least doing the right thing so that people's grievances, people's differences, people's feelings and everything about what Nigeria has done to them, the marginalization, the impunity, the nepotism and everything that makes Nigeria what it is. Some people will at least manage to give Nigeria a benefit of doubt. But they are so arrogant. They are so confident, just like the president of Ethiopia, the one that is now calling the rest of the world to come to the rescue of Ethiopia, to come and save them from the small Tigray. Somebody has something better. His name is Anyanwu, I think, than Anyanwu. Watch this.
1718.
Meanwhile, before I even play that, yeah, we are talking about the faulty structure of Nigeria that everyone knows about. Everyone. But not everyone agrees that it should be broken down completely, right? And let the people decide if they still want to be part of it or not, starting with that fraudulent Abubakar's constitution. But if you continue to gaslight everyone that speaks up, if you continue to expect that your prisons and your bullets will stop them, while you allow terrorists to continue to wreak havoc, these are the reasons why people want to save themselves from the looming destruction that has become the state policy in Nigeria. No Southern president can change that. No Igbo president or Yoruba president can change that. The faulty structure is Nigeria. Break it up, break it down completely, and let people choose where they want to be. But no, Nigeria would rather kill us. But this man kind of put it better, especially on the issue of Biafra. Listen.
1718. I said, Nnamdi Kanu is the only human being, living or dead, that has such followership in this country. That's none. That people will go on their own, raise their money to go on an event without being paid anything. Azikiwe didn't have that followership. Obafemi Awolowo didn't have that. Neither Aminu Kano. I say, President Muhammad Buhari, this is the kind of guy you should do business with. That was 3 years ago. Now we are saying he's in the hands of DSS. And they're still obeying it. When I go home, I don't go out. On Mondays, I stay in the house if I'm in the village. I don't want to be attacked. Definitely, destruction is there. But in that locality, is with you. Has he opened his mouth? And that's why I said, this matter has gone beyond Nnamdi Kanu. It has gone beyond him. Nnamdi Kanu cannot even stop it unless those issues are addressed. What are the issues to be addressed? Equality, unfairness, not allowing them to be free. President Buhari alone, as the #1 citizen of Nigeria, has the absolute power to say, okay, gentlemen, stop.
The buck stops with the president.
So if he doesn't do it, and we think fighting with importing more fighter jets to Ghana and all that, it will escalate it. Then you push them to a point they can produce distance.
Chief Dan,
just a minute.
Chief Dan,
just a minute. They can produce distance to fight back. Small boys can produce distance. This is that we are spending billions to buy. It's because Nigeria is a country that we are not ready to develop. We're not ready to develop. They can produce distance. Small boys that didn't even go to school. So don't push them to that point. Because we're not asking for war. All they are asking for is treat us as you have treated others.
You get that? And I don't know why that is so difficult. And I don't know why we are having problem, maybe with the tone of how they say it. Some will said, I mean, some will actually say, yeah, Mayegun, it's true if they want to have Biafra, they can have their Biafra, but we don't like the way they talk about it. Why? If you agree that they can have Biafra, why do you have problem with the way they talk about it? Why do you have problem with how they talk about it? Some will say they just like to brag. Why is that your problem? Why is that a problem? I mean, so all they're asking for is that, yes, there are people who are Igbos, right? Who don't believe in Biafra yet. Because I can't say an Igbo man would say they don't like Biafra. So I'm just going to say there are Igbos who actually don't believe in Biafra yet. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. When you have the right information, you'll probably be more champion Biafran than many of those who are doing it now. How do you find out? Everybody says, let's restructure Nigeria so that everybody can be on their own. Manage your thing. Sink or sail. Hold your destiny. If you do anyhow, your people can treat your own effort. Let's do it that way. They said some part of Nigeria are going to go poorer. Some people are not going to be able to receive salary anymore because their states are relying on the money from other parts. How is that? How does that make any sense then? We let people who can create wealth, people who can actually use the real resources. The only real reliable resources on earth is human resources. Use the human resources you have and turn them into good enough that they can help themselves and fend for themselves rather than continue to remain on the Bambi Allah system of Nigeria. That won't last. It won't really last. They said no, they don't want it. Who are those who said no? Not the poor northerners who are victims of terrorism. Those who said no are their elite. They are the governors, senators, reps, this, that. No, you can't restructure Nigeria that way. Nigeria is already structured. They don't want to talk about it. They said, well, people say, well, you know what? Let us go for a different constitution that will create regional system where everybody can handle their own affair and make an arrangement on how they are going to contribute to defense and a few other things to keep the country safe. If that too will work, they said, no. How can you say you want to do region? We don't want region anymore because they have already used their Hausa Fulani map to cut and divide everybody to where they wanted everybody to be, including cutting people into part of states they created without putting those who are going to be part of that state in any consideration. So they cut people, divided family, divided people all over the place. So that is their own formula of divide and rule called restructuring. They've done it. But the elites in the southern Nigeria, they are pretending that Nigeria is not already structured or restructured by these guys. So they rejected that too, regionalism. No. They rejected that. Even now that the insecurity in Nigeria has made Nigeria the terrorist capital of the entire Africa, the second terrorist capital of the world, the second most terrorized people in the whole world after Afghanistan. It's a shame. A very sad one. They brought us to this level and they want us to stay that way. The elite, not the poor people of the North. Because of their greed. And those who agree with them from the South, they want to be president in 2023. They want to have their own share of the national cake and the land can burn. Suddenly we have problem of Fulani terrorism in Yoruba land, Fulani terrorism in Igbo land, Fulani terrorism in Ijaw land, Fulani terrorism in Yoruba land, to the creek of Bayelsa. suddenly. And as they are advancing, the Fulani government of Nigeria continue to preach national livestock. They continue to give money to politicians locally in those communities. They continue to bribe the traditional stews and traditional leaders, traditional, institutions in different parts of southern Nigeria. As they continue to advance, more people continue to get killed. Then some people say, why don't we just ban open grazing so that we can be able to identify the terrorists, as everybody is denying that the terrorists are not Fulanis. The northern Nigeria elite, they came out again. You can't ban movement of cows. They are Nigerians. How can you say you want to ban Nigerians from moving everywhere? Who said they want to ban Nigerians moving? You said these terrorists are from Sahel, Niger, Chad, and all these places. How come that it now becomes the national policy of Nigeria to resettle them in Nigeria? So, banning open grazing in this 21st century, how is that against the northern Nigeria? It is not the poor people in northern Nigeria that said the South should not ban open grazing. No, it is the elite. And for those who collaborating with them in southern Nigeria, when you look at them very well, they are also the elite. But here we are. When the terrorists kidnap or kill in any part of southern Nigeria, they don't check if that person was one of those who actually supported them so that they can spare you. They pick everybody, and the most people in real, those who are actually like in the spotlight that will get picked up anytime are those who are claiming to be that elite that are keeping quiet in a way, and we call them the enablers, by the way, keeping quiet. Why Nigeria says, if you stand up against the Fulani hegemony, you are in soup in southern Nigeria. So they are not spared. They are not safe. When they begin to attack communities, when they begin to attack their homes, when they begin to pick them up in their offices, when they begin to displace them from their comfort zones, they will watch my video again. They will remember that I said the greed of the elite that makes them to keep quiet in this face of this calamity. It won't just consume the poor while you will run away. You will get caught up in it as well, because insecurity has become everybody's business now. Whatever money you are making as a businessman in Nigeria, elite, Sherifat Owoduni, thank you very much, Dema, for your super sticker. Do you know that you can also give, they call it star on Facebook. So if you watch my video on on Badero Olushola Badero, not Mayegun's Diary Political, you will see something next to your comments on Facebook. You will see something next to your comment is a star. If you tap it, right, it will also give you something like super chat, right? I was contacted today by Facebook. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting anything from them, but yeah. They said your fans can use that to support you now. I said, well, thank you. So if you see that star beside your, what do you call it? It's like a super chat on YouTube. And it's good when you support your content creators, people who you love, like myself. I've got friends, right? A lot of you. So you can support from anywhere and everywhere. It becomes easier and better. So Sherifat, thank you for your super sticker. Right? And that's from Canada, by the way. Thank you. So the criminals that said defending ourselves is a crime, is a criminal offense. That is the state policy of Nigeria now. And these clashes, those who are defending it, those who are pushing it, those who are making it look like it's normal, those who are living in denial of it, those who have the capacity to actually do the right thing but fail to do that, pretending that maybe this is going to go away. They are the elite. Your selfishness, your greed, from north to south, from west to east, Eh? Your greed is why many Nigerians are still going to agree that until they are done with the fraudulent establishment called Nigeria, right, their destiny is tied to the doom of that contraption. And it's a state of reality. You know, you get to that point in your life. You're going to get to that stage. Nigeria is going to make you realize that there's no plan for you, and there's a reason for it. The elite will tell you what they think you want, you need, or what they think you deserve, and they'll give you exactly that, and they will dictate it to you every step of the way. So if you step out of that line, you become a threat, a rebel. And as a big for nothing giant, there's nothing African governments and different African countries, there's nothing their government in power does other than to bully those they suspect to be threats to whatever they are getting. It's not because they love Nigeria. Trust me. If you love something, you are going to protect it. If you love something, you're going to defend it. You're going to do everything to keep it safe, won't you? When you love something and you really do love something, you're not going to let it into the hand of criminals that are going to ruin and shatter it and, destroy it, would you? Look at these criminals. When they put money together, they put it together on how to get better education for their children outside Nigeria, how to get a better healthcare system for themselves outside Nigeria, right? And when they are tired of the pollution, the noise, and all the killings and everything, they take a break outside Nigeria. All this paid for by the rest of you who are trapped inside that Nigeria. The greed, the selfishness makes them so less concerned, even though they pretend to be so concerned. So the whole thing is on you. The one they play all the time. The one that is a willing tool in their arsenal, the one they can use as a screw to screw others. So it's up to you. The government of Bukwari that is giving leeway to terrorists in Nigeria that continue to kill and they continue to death. Someone asked me that, Mayegu, listen, can you just imagine it for a second? That IPOB upload a video and the ESN carrying guns and they put together, and you see some of these women, children, they were just kidnapped from Zamfara, from Kano, right? And they put them together, 200. Mayegun, just imagine it for a second. That video surface online, and you see this, the Muslim or northern children, and IPOB is waving flag. Imagine what will happen the following day in Biafra land, Mayegun. So I said, I can't imagine it. I can't. He said, I know, I'm just saying it for a moment. Now, replace that IPOB, replace them with this ISWAP, this ISIS, this Fulani terrorists who constantly and continuously make videos of their captors. Most of them Christians from different communities they kidnap. They go into communities, they go into schools, they round up Christian children. And right there, people will tell us that they will release anyone they see that as a Muslim child. Something that the eyewitness keep telling us, and they continue to say, don't say that, don't say that. And if you say that, it's going to make you, come on. And they will post videos, and you would never see anything the next minute that Nigeria is sending 20,000 fighter, patrol jet to Kano jet to go after them. What you will be hearing is they can't just go there, Mayegun. They cannot just go there and just rescue the people. That is why because of the children, because of the people they can't just go there and rescue them like that. So that's why they always negotiate and give them money. I was like, okay. But they can walk into communities in Obigbo, in Ozu, in Olu, in Ezombe, walk to different communities, in Ebonyi, in Enugu, communities where they know civilians live, and open fire on them, burn their properties because they are looking for IPOB. That makes sense, yeah? It does. But people who could walk into a place and kidnap 60 worshippers, that they said they will be killing two of them every day if they don't pay them 600 million naira. And Nigeria, they are on their own anyway. Yeah, they are on their own. There's nothing that concerns Nigeria. But there is nothing the military can do. I mean, if you have met if you have actually met an average Buhari idiot, somebody also asked me and he said, Mayegu, just imagine for a second that Gumi is from southern Nigeria and is let's say he's a Christian, and he continued to come out to say the killer herdsmen or any other criminal organization carrying out the same thing that these Fulani terrorists are doing, and continue to tell Nigeria that there will be no peace except if Nigeria negotiate with them. Schools will never open except if Nigeria negotiate with them. And Nigeria must never call them terrorists, appearing on TV everywhere. Somebody said, Mayegun, do you think that Yoruba Gumi or Igbo Gumi will not be in jail by now? That the rest of Nigeria will not actually believe that that Gumi indeed is behind the insecurity? That why then that is not applicable to Gumi? I was like, well, maybe you've answered your own, you should answer your own question. Nigeria is not for you. The country is two countries pretended to be one. Let me say one country with two laws, one for them, one for you. You should just find your place. And when you ask questions like that, you should be able to answer it. It simply tells you, when you say why, it's because you know what would happen if you have your own Yoruba Gumi that goes on TV and says that if Nigeria doesn't negotiate with Oloye Sunday Igboho, if Nigeria doesn't do this, if Nigeria try to, like every TV station, just imagine it for a second. Where is that person going to be right now? Well, that tells you all you need to know. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for a referendum. Many organizations in southern Nigeria have been asking for the renegotiation of what Nigeria has become. They are questioning the union. And the only people that are telling us that this is not negotiable, they are the northern elites with their southern counterparts. The greedy ones, by the way. The ones that want to own the world. They want to own everything. When they tell you that we are allocating this land for development, they are lying to you. They will confiscate it and change the name to their names. They want to own the world. Cutting corners, stealing from you. Crony capitalism, they call it. Stealing from you, giving the money to their cronies to run their fake businesses as a front for them. And it seems that they decided to go to that place. 1965. We completed, Yoruba people completed the 26-story building, or Cocoa House in Ibadan, 26-story building. And that building is still standing to today. Even after catching fire and all of that, got renovated, is still standing today. And they're talking about their greed. The people that choose to negotiate with terrorists and the elite that choose to look away. Why Boko Haram continue to run riots like this? The same elite are waiting to inherit what? Nigeria, that Boko Haram is going to hand over to them. And what is that Nigeria is going to hand over to them? This one that is now ravaged by terrorists. What option would they have other than just to negotiate with that terrorist if they want to leave? Or they will perish, just like the poor they are watching perish right now. The greed of the elite. They were building expensive flats in the slum called Lagos. And Tifnumbu was there. They had to go and see what happened. The guy, the billionaire Femi, Londoner, he said he came from London. He came from the UK. I'm a UK person. I came from the UK just to come out. I'm not a Nigerian person. I came to come and invest in Nigeria, a front for politicians. He is a front for politicians. And they said he didn't cut corners. Well, fine. Well, the greed of the elites. The guy was eventually brought out of the rumble, dead. And just 24 hours after the news that is now dead and is, is part of those they brought out of the bodies they brought out of the rumble, which has now increased to 42 people dead from that rumble. His family members have started fighting themselves. They have started fighting themselves. They have started locking up properties, locking up doors, taking cars, taking cash, taking whatever they can take. The guy never even called for quorum or for mortuary. The greed of the elite. It's about what they can get. Tragedy of others is their own joy. They don't care about consequences until they become victims themselves. Unfortunately, the victim of their greed, the poor, also defend them because they are the same people they called philanthropists. I ask myself all the time, why should the school fees of my child be paid by somebody because I'm poor? Why should the hospital bill of my parents be paid? Why should the hospital bill of my child be paid by a politician who could have put a policy in place that would never require me to bring my sick child, to your door and beg for money and mercy, when I could easily just take her to the hospital where a well-working healthcare policy is there for her to use, when I don't have to become so miserable to come to your house and beg you, please, don't let my child die. Don't let all this. I ask myself, why should the politician be the one to share food to me during election, giving food, giving a wrapper, giving money to buy election, simply because they know what they have done? They know the poverty they have created. They know the hunger they have created. They know the insecurity they have created. And they know that the brain of those who are starving and hungry will normally, right, come back to just one thing and control. Take it if you offer them food. Why deliberately put them through that only to turn around and become their philanthropy? You say, do you know how many WAEC forms this person they collect for people? I say, why is he collecting WAEC forms? Why is he paying for your WAEC forms when there should have been a system that says if you are unable to afford your WAEC fee, right? Apply for this form, apply for that, the state will pay for it. Is that not what it should be, by the way? That's what it should be. They steal from you. When they steal from you, make you vulnerable, make you poorer, make you want better life, and make you dream about them. Then they turn around, they offer you that. They say, hey, thank your God today. My spirit say I should help you. I say, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I say, you say your business is suffering. I'm going to give you 500,000 naira for your business. 500,000. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That is the peanuts from what he stole from you, or his friends stole from you through the shady deal and so many other shady alliances, policies. They all dug in their fingers into. They finally took away your opportunity of approaching a normal bank as a businessman, as a businesswoman, soft loans that you don't need a godfather. You don't need to fast and pray. You don't need anybody to do any, you just, once you think you qualify for it, go for it, because that help should always be there. That is what runs a country. That is how they spread wealth in this country. So that you don't have to become so greedy, so selfish, that you deny millions of others the same thing that you want for yourself. So I ask myself that. That is why I don't always, right, appreciate it when they say politician is trying. When they turn around and say they are doing medical outreach. What the hell is medical outreach? They failed to equip the local clinics. They failed to, pay the staff there. So your clinic turns to where you just go to and they look at you and say, I've been feeling funny, ma. I've not been feeling well for the past 3 days. I always vomit. I say, is that why you come to hospital? Oh, you don't need hospital. You are in the hospital. You expect them, a midwife, to, you know that maybe you are pregnant too. Say, I've not been feeling well, ma. I've been having a headache. I've not been able to say, you are pregnant. You are pregnant. Don't waste your money and go and do any test. Money no data. Oh. You are pregnant. I can see it in your eye. See your eyeballs. See your eyeballs. Do like this. Do like that. You don't need anything. You are pregnant. That's the kind of community they build. If you go there and you say, I don't see well anymore. You say, I know they see too well. When I look something, I don't see clearly. I don't know if my eyes are. I say, how old are you? So I'm 65. Now old age. It's old age. Don't waste your money, ma. Baba, don't waste your money. I'm a I'm a doctor. I'm a nurse. Because there is no equipment to even make them check anything. Don't waste it. It's old age. Sir, when you are young, do you always fry gari? Do you always cook with firewood? Now so that now my daughter, that's what we were using to cook. Now I'm 66 years old. That thing is the reason it's spoil eyes. It's called cataract. Go and buy eye drop and put eye drop. It will clear. Nurse that knows that at the end of the month, the little 22,000 naira they promised to pay her, they are likely not going to pay her. So the nurse herself will say, if you don't feel it, you see, I will finish work at 7:30. Tell your husband to bring you to my clinic. That's where you see nurse will take a small clinic for your village. She also has her own chemist. They call it chemist. In this country, if you go to the GP, if you go to the doctors, and they check you and anything and they make any recommendation, you will take it to the chemist. So you take your prescription to the chemist. The chemist will look at your prescription. They will take it. They will ask you, do you want to wait? Or you want to take it? Do you want to take them now? To take them now, or you want to come back? That's how the system works in this country. In Nigeria, if you go to I'm talking about your local clinic now. I'm not talking about some of you. I better pass my neighbor. I'll get my private doctor. It's not that bad. Why do you have a private doctor? Is that how rich you are? Or simply because you are with the little you are earning, you can afford to go and see your private doctor, private hospital. My family uses private hospital. I have blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about the real people that the politicians made poorer, even though they make you feel like you are better off when you are not. They are at the mercy of all those quack, unpaid, underpaid medical staff in the local community. So they are at their mercy. And then after that, every Sunday they go to an IVG, they go and pray because there's nothing the local clinic can do. They say, what happened to you, mama? How can you be? Oh my God, what happened to you? They say, my daughter, I've not been feeling well for the past 3 weeks. Say, mama, how come you didn't go to the hospital? My daughter, I've been to the hospital. There's a doctor. Doctor, she came here to check me every time. She checked my BP. She give me, see the medicine she's been giving me. They will bring the sachet out and they will say, see the sachet of what I've been getting. That is the kind of treatment they subject our people to. Many of them die. And they are, in fact, it's so terrible, right? That when people now die in the village, they will say, you remember that Charles? That guy, that guy don't die. Now that woman kill him. That woman I wish. That woman waited that place. That woman don't kill all our children. Our children don't abandon her. They don't need to come out again. But when it is time for the politicians who took all of that away from you, who denied you all of that opportunity, who took your money indirectly and built mansion for himself, bought a better education for his own children or children abroad, gets herself or himself a better medical arrangement abroad, right? When election is coming, then they will say they are bringing medical outreach. Say, I thank God for Honorable Ajanle Koko Ojopagogo. More than 300 people. We did eye test for more than 300 people. And he gave 50 of them their eyeglasses. Eyeglasses, where they sell for £1 shop. You know those reading glasses? Here in the UK, £1 shop. If you go to £1 shop, you will see them reading glasses. This weary will come to the UK. They will buy reading glasses of £1. They will buy like maybe 100 or sometimes maybe 200. They will box them. And they will take them to Nigeria. They will now bring all these people together. They will say, you see, some of you are doing that too. And you don't know that what you are doing is evil. You collaborate with them. You lie that you are coming from America to come and do medical outreach in your village. You are coming from London to come and do medical outreach. Even though your intentions are good, politicians hijack them. They start sharing £1 eyeglasses. This is my glasses. This one is £200. £198. This is what this glass is. It's a medical one, right? £198. Now, if a politician want to help anyone, you see, Agbeke, when Agbeke got her glasses, she got them free. She got 2. They told me that if I wanted 2, I can buy 1 and get 1 free, but I will pay £350 to get 2. It's a Tommy figure, right? Now, if to say I be British, now for free, they fee give me this thing, free, £200 eyeglasses, free, right? But politicians in Nigeria who deny the process, a system that could make that happen, will come to the UK and buy £1 reading glasses. When I first came to this country, those are the kind of glasses I first bought. They look like, you read. Then they will say they are doing medical outreach. Medical outreach. We are checking BP. And they will bring paracetamol. When my mom was alive, right? Because I couldn't bring her over before she passed, right? If to say she had the opportunity of coming over, I'll probably know what killed her. If she eventually dies, right? I will get to know what killed her. But you know one thing? Whenever I speak to my mom in Nigeria, talking about healthcare now, whenever I speak to her, and we had chat about everything, she talks about how she's, the usual mother stuff, right? I've got this my back. I'm just, my legs. So, you know what? I can't get a prescription for you if a doctor didn't check you here. And I can't go to any clinic and just go and buy anything and give you. But there are some certain stuffs I can get for you, right? If you go to the cooperative here in the UK, you can buy the 7 C's or this, we call it the people in Nigeria were, my great grandmother used to call it ekweja. So I'll go and buy this 7 C's oil, right? And I'll get some real, supply, maybe like about four boxes. Then I'll go and get the normal 500 mg, 500 gram paracetamol. Then I'll send them to my mom. You know what? Use 1 each every day. And suddenly my mom will be like, Sheyi, ọkọ mi, ogun tó máa ń rà fún mi yẹn, jọ ogun mi yẹn ti fẹ́ tán o. And I'm like, ogun wo ni mo ń rà fún yẹn, which loosely interpreted as Sheyi, my husband, because she calls me husband anyway. So my husband, you know that my medical supply, they are already coming to an end though. It's about to finish. I need you to buy me more. So which medication? See this 7 C's, cod liver oil. I mean, is that not what is it called? I mean, yeah, cod liver oil. And paracetamol. You see, when I use it, all my joints, everything move well. I say, cod liver oil. Say, you see that paracetamol? That is why I love using them at night. When I wake up, I was like, really? Imagine what my mom missed on for being in Nigeria. And there were some people who were minister of this, commissioner for this, special director on this, policy formulator on this, your father, your mother, your parents. Imagine what they went through when they could have had access to the best of the best medical access that could spare their life and even make them enjoy life more. But cod liver oil and paracetamol couldn't really save my mom from whatever she finally had to suffer before she died. I mean, a sickness that was pretty much taking money every day because there's no system to take care of her. We have to say, Ayole, thank you very much, by the way. I would have missed your super chats. We love you, Mayegun. Keep up the fight. One day, Sha. Yes, one day. And that one day is why we want to make sure that those of us who have woken up, we need more people to wake up. We need more people to know why they have to wake up. When more people knows that this is not going anywhere, no matter how much you try to hold on to the lies Nigeria keeps telling, they can't hold it together for too long, right? And the more we know about this, the better for us, because once we have the number, I'm going to witness a revolution in my life in Nigeria before I die. That's something that, trust me, I am promising myself. And I am working, ensuring that that revolution of mind that we are doing now will eventually metamorphose and translate into the street revolution, because that is a very necessary one. But when people don't understand, they will eventually, they will always condemn it, right? People will condemn what they don't understand. But mind revolution, Ayola, we will get there one day, Sha. When you deny people health care and you take the money and you turn around and offer them philanthropy, when you deny them education policy that could take care of the most vulnerable, the poor, the poorest of the poor, as you love to put it, yeah, so that they can become somebody. When you have no policy that actually do that, when you have this servitude policies of we will only take care of those that we believe deserve it. What you are doing is you are kicking the can down the road. You will eventually meet it ahead. What is wrong in having a dialogue with IPOB? They are not living in the forest. They are human beings that you can see and touch. They have legal team. They have addresses. Their grievances are stated. They are clear. This is somebody that, despite you locking them up, right, he still controls the majority out there. What is wrong in having a conversation with that and bring to an end all this bloodbath? To what end is the grandstanding all about? So if you are an elite and you are enjoying this Nigeria as it is, and you have already bought yourself a safe haven somewhere, I have a news for you, right? You are going to get caught up in what you are pretending or denying to exist. You are going to get caught up in it. And when you get caught up in it, the poor people that you think are powerless and vulnerable and possibly they are irrational and they can't think, they will likely be here too, to at least mourn you. Look at what happened in that Lagos. Normally, an investigation that should get heads rolling should have happened. But guess what? Oh, now Fege, they will clear the place, reapprove the whole place, and somebody else will continue. Because the person that died in that building is not the owner of that building, it's not the owner of that investment. The real owners, they have already calculated their loss. They have come there to assess the place, right? So what they'll do next is that they will clear the whole place, reapprove the place, and you'll see the 21-story building back up in the next few months. Was it not last year? The same man that died in that same building, what's his name again? Oshibono or something, Femi or Oshibono or something, I'm not sure. The guy that died there just a few days ago, he was there last year. where he blocked the entrance to the place from the inspectors to come and check the level of development or the material they were using there. Government of Lagos State, they were blocked. And they eventually sealed off the place. Guess what? Few weeks after that, right? Another higher authority came and they opened up the place. Now, people have died there. And I'm wondering why people have not started suing them. The family are already trying to steal everything they can get from him, because that's what Nigeria, greedy elite, that's what they are all about. You see, they pretend to be rich, but they are just poor people with lots of money. And this money, they didn't make this money because they are smart. They made this money because the system in Nigeria, crony capitalism, will always make that happen. And they will defend themselves. Abadele Momodu said he didn't cut corner. 21-story building just gave up like that. Everybody is an expert now. They are going to come and tell you it's the act of God, it's this and that. Many other things they will tell you. But trust me, they will always pay for their greed. Poor people with money are the people you call rich people. Most of them in Nigeria, they are not rich. They are poor people with lots of money. And that is why, rather than create wealth, rather than create a working environment, a working country, a working system, their greed has suffocated the entire system. Their greed has strangulated the entire system. But they still live in denial, right? Because according to them, whatever is going on right now won't touch them. But they are paying for that greed. If Numbu had to come and stay in London, a cold place for more than 2 months, just to fix his knee. They had to fly him over the Atlantic twice, to America to go and do surgical operation on his own knees. Something they could do in Eco Atlantic Hospital, somewhere in, some standard hospital they built in Lagos, instead of flying hours across the Atlantic. Then ended up having to come here to recuperate, and said he was seeing a therapist. That's the greed of those you call the elite. As they don't give a damn about you, they don't seem to give a damn about themselves too. So why should you, for any reason, pull clothes and said you want to fight for them? No be mental be that. Somebody said, no be juju be that. I bet it's something, but it's not something good. Trust me. Because if you love something, you will protect it, won't you? Yes, you will protect it. So the only reason why everyone who is against talking about breaking up of Nigeria today, and they will continue to pretend that the genocide, the ethnic cleansing going on in eastern Nigeria, and the Fulani terrorism going on in southern Nigeria, the kidnapping for ransom going on in the Middle Belt, and the mass killings of people in the Middle Belt of Nigeria today, right? They can pretend and continue to pretend that they are not happening. But trust me, they are not, in fact, safe from it. They are not immune from it. Breakfast. I thought I could take calls tonight, but I won't. Okay. I'm off tomorrow. I'm off for the rest of the week. So which means that we are going to have a lot of time together this week. And I'm suggesting that we should have our People's Parliament tomorrow. So if you're up for it, I wouldn't mind to start early enough to get everybody on so that we can have it early enough. So I'm going to look into that. And if you are really up for it, right? People's Parliament is where you can come on, spend just about 5 minutes, express yourself on any topic, share your views on them, and then hang up for another person to speak their mind too. People's Parliament. There's a lot to catch up on. I wouldn't mind to experience that once again, maybe tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'll let you know. But to my friends who are currently on YouTube, thank you very much for your time so far. I've got some videos I wanted to share with you, but I seem to have covered them even more than just to share the videos now. If any conversation comes around them, maybe tomorrow, I'll share them. So I'm leaving them on. But to my friends on YouTube and on Facebook, remember, if you haven't really shared the video, you should now. If you really enjoyed this conversation, if you haven't liked the video, like it now before you go as well. And even if you want to give it a thumb down, go there and do it, okay? And let me know if any of you have ever tried that star. I'm trying to use one now, but my card details are not on this computer. But let me know if you ever tried it, just like the super chats, right? However, thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to see you some other time. Stay safe and be very, very, very vigilant. Good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Ayégun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Ayégun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Ayégun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Ayégun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Ayégun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Kíkó nìna kówó jẹ. Ayégun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Ayégun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayégun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Ayégun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Ayégun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayégun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni. Mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni. Ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni. Ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́. Ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o. Ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé.